Hey guys, how's it going? Still working on updating the shop, getting some things put together so that when you walk out over to it and turn it on, it actually turns on. So that's what's been happening for the last couple days. I'm not ready to start on trying to do some wheel run videos. I still need to make some stuff, but I figure I turn the camera on for that. And what we need to make is a way to get motorcycles and ATVs and things around that size up onto the second floor without damaging them. Everything else I've, smalls that you can put on a pallet, you can put up there and work with. But as far as bikes, especially some of the nicer stuff, last thing I want to do is, drop it from 10 feet in the air and smash them on the ground. So I want to make a pallet that is dedicated for being able to put a bike onto it, lock on it, and bring it up safely, and then be able to take it off from the top. I have a bunch of pallets to work with. My friend grabbed a couple of these from the side of the road too. They're a little bit on the longer side. So I figure, why don't we turn the camera on? We could hang out and come up with something that will work. So I'm gonna go grab the fork truck, put it in place, throw a pallet on the floor, and maybe we'll wheel a bike onto it and see what we like and don't like. Cold start. Up. I figure we'll just go roll a bike up there and see how we like it. See how it fits, first of all, too, right? Kind of short. One thing I do have is a wheel chuck for one of the handy lifts that you put a motorcycle on. I should probably use that on here. You can roll the front wheel up and lock right into it. And we'll put a couple of eye bolts on each corner for 2 straps to hold on. I could probably back up with the truck a little bit. I still have that much to catch the last rung on the pallet. And you know what we can do? That bump kind of sucks. Why don't we make a ramp extension? What do you think? That'll give us a little extra room. If we have a chalk in the front, we can lock the bike to it. The only thing is, if it's a slightly longer bike, it's gonna, every time you go back up in it, it's going to want to try to roll off the ramp. Yeah, who says I have to get that close? The front wheel Let's get the chalk and we'll lay it on there. I don't know if the holes are going to help or hinder us, because we have the other pallet too. We can cut it up and, steel boards and maybe fill the whole thing to make it a solid platform. I'm not sure if that's going to be a benefit or not, though. Alright, let me go get that piece and we'll see what that looks like. Here's the other pallet. So I have this. It already kind of leans back already, too. I should be able to just bolt that right to the front of the pallet. I think that'll make, just for everything to be much more secure. I want to go over this with a welder first though. The other one that was on the lift, the same guy made it. We went to go pull the lift onto the truck and it literally just popped apart right there. So it was probably a 110 welder that needs a little bit more. So Give these another shot. But that's later. My luck will change 5 times before we even come up with a solution. Let's see what this looks like. That'd be pretty good. Guess we should center it. I can pop the bike back in it again. Well, yeah. That's as far as the chalk goes before it runs out of threads on that. Not even close to tightening it up on a wheel. We could probably cut it free right here. We'll slide the whole thing over. I know, what do we need about another? And that's for a motorcycle tire. I can imagine like the bicycle tires. Yeah, we'll kick that over about an inch or so. We gotta weld it up anyway. But I like the way it lays on the front of, it uses the space that's open. Alright, let's go weld that up a little bit nicer. Let's cut that off. Noise alert. Before I weld the two pieces together, let's go burn over those welds just to kind of stiffen it up a little bit. Like I said, the other one fell apart, so I don't want that happening, you know. So we'll hit it with a little bit more power probably than the first welder had. You have to watch your step. Lift your foot. Okay, here you go. A lot of dirt in there, you can hear it. Let's see if we get a little more power. Help a finger. I think I'm up a little, maybe up a little too high. sounded better. That's better. Just want to eyeball it? What do you think? Tack on her, just call it. That is all the way in. You want to go to the edge. All right. Look good? Can we nail it? I'll nail it. Going uphill. So it's going uphill because that's not welded straight. Can you see it? It's like that. Run it in. As long as that doesn't lift up in the air, I think we'll be fine. And that's it, it's off the track. That should be good for like bicycle kind of ones. If I get something really big, I'll put it to the side of it and go buzz that on there. You thought I put some heat on it? Look at the bow that these guys came up. Beating that with a hammer will take care of it. And you want to get under it. Good. Sledgehammer time. It's going to need a slight adjustment right about there. Too much. Undo. Undo button. Anything more coming up? All right. Now we're good. This will work at a comfortable height, right? And let's pop that back up there. And she's a tad warm still. I don't know, I think if it's not looking it, but I was kind of hoping that the gap between this was the same as this, so we could just rip the pickets off the other one and set them in. Let's get a tape measure. Isn't there one of those little tests? Which line is longer, which, you know, and they do the same thing just in different angles. So I want to call it 3 1/4, and that's 3. Does that look smaller than that to you? But it's not. 1 to 3. That board's a little over 3. I don't know. Maybe we'll be able to get it. 3 1/2. Again, they're pallets, not like they're put together with any kind of care, you know. It's just going to be figured to be thrown out in the end. I'm going to go pop off this end cap. Look at what we're looking at. I'll pop the top off this end cap, and I'll do the same with the other pallets. I'll rip some off. We'll see if we can get them in there. That was hard. Remind me that that is nails facing up on the floor over there. I guess the other side, and we'll go steal some pickets. I can borrow the hammer and those nails out. I'm just going to come with the whiz wheel and cut them right off. I think I'll do more damage than not trying to hammer them back out. That's how well they fit. I'm just going to do the 4 in the middle. Maybe. Alright. What happened to the fact that I guess these are not quite as wide, or wider. Three and a quarter, 3 1/8, 3 1/4, 3 1/4. All right. You are going in, you just don't know it yet. We'll make it fit. Yeah, I just ended up ripping up the 2 outer boards. The middle one's the only one that's still originally nailed down, and just stacked them up against it. And I'll leave that outside gap open. I think I kind of like that for if you want to tie something odd down, you can go grab and wrap around wherever you want. Where if I butted it right up, yeah, you're going to be try coming around the corner. Ramp. We're going to need some kind of ramp on the end of it for ease of kick up. Thoughts on that? What can we come off of to so we have a bunch of this stuff on the other pallet. They're probably all the same size too. We could probably take those and make a ramp going down and coming back. Probably have to just gonna attach to the sides maybe though, because you don't want the forks coming in and smash it into it, you know. The upper part would be good. And we should probably go 2 boards high to make it level with that. Because we could even make it a little bit longer. It wouldn't hurt. It'd actually help because the back tire seems like it's possibly hanging off a little bit. Let's think about that for a little and see what we come up with. So I went over on the scrap board there and I grabbed this pallet. And I like these 2 boards. I'm thinking maybe we'll take those and we could start like right here for support. So we'll grab this leg and this leg and we'll let it hang off whatever the length is. And then we'll fill in however we want for a ramp and support. We can do the same with the middle too. Actually, we'll probably take the middle board that's skinnier We'll stick that on. We'll rip it in half. We'll stick one side here, one side here. We could actually do, yeah, you don't want to be getting in the way of forks. Let's go do this one, the two outers first, and then maybe the middle. We'll just screw them on for now. Once we figure out the angle we want, or if do we want to, you know, come out a step first and then drop. Yeah, let's go beat that pallet apart. I'll let it back down on the floor, get a better idea. So that's where we're going to be trying to use it, right? So that catches the second one in. And I think I would still kind of like to extend it straight, at least as far as the forks go in. So that way, because if it is on an angle, if you pick it up by accident wrong, you're going to be catching it on the downslope. So I think we should probably come out whatever that 6 inches is, maybe 2 boards width, straight out. That'll give the decking enough length and enough length so the forks don't hit it, and the bike back wheel has a better chance of being on the flat instead of, you know, drooping down on the angle. Every time you get off the bike, you don't want to roll off. How do we want to? I could probably stagger the top boards over, you know what I mean? Like if we do something like that, kind of like you build a deck, you know. Wrong one. Come on, fingers. Nobody wants to play with me. Let's go with, it would have to be the middle one. The middle one that's nailed down, right? Well, we haven't committed to anything yet. It kind of screws it on the other end. You don't want something over the top. I use a piece of metal. Just drill some holes in it and then drill the two down to each other, right? And make a piece of metal that's, I don't know, maybe 6 inches wide, and catch, you know, 3 and 3 and make a cap for where all the butts meet together. A lot of the strength will come from the sides and whatever we come out of the middle. Probably the 2 center ones we'll scab on, one on that side, one on that side, and we'll have it taper down. I don't think we need to taper to 0 neither. Maybe we'll leave it like, I don't know, maybe 1 inch from the floor. We don't have to go right down to nothing because they don't have much strength either. I gotta think about that. Alright, so I've been cutting a little bit. Did you come up with what I came up with? So, extended it. These two scab all the way up into the middle of the frame to kind of give it some support in the middle. The outsides, if I had done it again, I cut this too short. What I should have done is had this sit on top of the 2 ends. You know, on top of there, but it is what it is now. And then plywood to make the approach. Still needs something on the bottom. Got to come up underneath these. I'll make that fit underneath to kind of tie the bottom of it together, and probably a little bit of pieces here and there. We could probably maybe, I don't know, maybe block that in underneath. We'll see. We'll see how strong it is. I'm going to start screwing some stuff together and lift it up in the air and see how we like it. How do you like it? It's pretty much nailed down and screwed together. It's looking pretty decent. All the decking has also been knocked down. So I'm going to punch a couple of holes in this. And, I don't know, yeah, we'll put them on separate boards. Put one there, and there. Go all the way out on that one. And we'll try to come from the back side to catch that one. do that on the drill press. Make life a lot easier. And we'll make a couple little starter holes. There. There. Now last one I'll have to get with a Sharpie and come up. Those are all bolted up. So we suck them down. Got a carriage bolt on the other side of it. Kind of like sucked up into the wood, but the head's, you know, fairly decent, so it gives it some room so it won't pull through. So that's all squared away, but I want to have some place to go tie down. I really don't want to like put a strap around here. I want to give something a little bit more permanent. So what I have is a couple of hooks, which is nice, but again, that's be good if it's going into metal. I want to probably just weld two of them together, and we can thread this down through the hood. I'm not sure which one should go. I'm thinking, you know, right in this area, that'd probably be the best. You pre-drill it first, have that on top. Probably help hold the pallet together too, you know. Yeah, let's go with the longer one. Cut the heads off and I guess we could just go like that, right? There's no quite sense cutting it off. It can give me something to weld to on the outer edge. See if we can get them tacked together. I'm just gonna eyeball them. Oh, slipped out of the chair. Eyeball them and get a start. Oh. That's pretty crooked. See if we can get better at this one. I wonder if one of those is stainless. It sounds funny when it was getting welded. Ah, close enough. Let's just buzz them up. Actually, this bench has two nice little holes in it. I think we can just steam the things right up in it. Oh, hold on. Back up. There you go. Now you can see it. See if they'll work for us. Ha! You know what it is? I didn't turn the gas on. I knew it sounded funny. Now you can hear the difference between what it sounds like with and without. Shielding gas. Hold on. You get the idea. I got company. So one thing I screwed up on, the other side is fine, but on this side, if that's going to be right there, maybe it'll be okay. I thought it was, you know, actually it's going to be in further, so it's not okay. All right, it'll be about. That looks like it's going to be a pain in the ass. So what's it look like? If it's even if it's lower, it's not really. Can go that way. I don't want stuff sticking out past the pallet though. We can put them. You kind of want the handlebars being pulled forward though, you know. Nope, had to do it again. There goes the compressor. On that note, give me time to think for a little bit. How about if we drill it and we come in on an angle like that? It'll still give us the meat of all those different layers of wood. I would have preferred to have come down through that one, but I guess it really doesn't matter. If I can get a real long drill bit, we'll pre-drill it like that. And like that. So it'll be... That should be fine. The roundy part will be lower. Actually, we could turn it this way too, right? It doesn't have to be like that. We could turn it like that. Turn it like that. Yeah. Let's go get a drill and try it. What's the worst that can happen? Our little friend is here. Right, Lily? Say hi. You want to say hi? Where's your toy? She's getting low rent toys right now. She's getting water bottles. Which one you want to go for? These are the two long bits I got. As long as you can see behind it. You see threads on both sides, which you can on that one. We'll start with the small one. See how we like it. Pick an angle. Let me say something like that. Right? I hit a screw or a nail. That'd be long enough. I think that's got it. We're going to bottom out to the bolt on that. We'll go try this one first. You know what we could probably do? Is maybe we'll open up the first section. Yeah, let's open up the first section with the larger bit. Crank down. You call that a drill? That's a drill. How did that work for us? Just falls right through. That's better. Much less of a fight, you know. I'm gonna run that down. My weld's a little wobbly. Here we go. Hopefully it doesn't split that wide open. That would suck. There's blocks down there. This stuff reminds me of those pressed together fire logs you buy. It's essentially the particle board in blocks. Alright. Let's go. I don't think that's... That'll be fine. Let's put the slip facing down though. That should be fine. Do the same on the other side. No? You don't want that? Just trying to get used to the space. I say we take all the junk off of it, lay it on the floor, put a bike in it, see how things are. We can do some cleaning up of the sharp edges over here. Going down. Got a couple of ratchet straps hanging from the back guard. this side. Back it up a little bit. I wouldn't exactly call that vice the best, but I think once you ratchet it down, you do what you need it to do. The other thing too is they actually double as a workspace. Really, if you wanted to use it for a lift, you know, you could. Looks pretty good. It gives us probably still about 8-10 inches of length on a bike we can go. I think that's gonna work out much better. All right, let's go pick it up one more time and clean up some of the roundy edges. I'm gonna leave that space underneath. There is support going across on the bottom, but I left that gap open just for dissimilar like landing surfaces. The other good thing is too, I can take it and I could run around the building with it on the forklift on stuff that I'm working on, pressure wash it, and bring it back in too. Alright, finish it up. Let's see if these, maybe we'll just knock the corners right off. The same on the other one. We'll hit it with a sander. And there's the underside. Looks pretty good. I don't see anything really that the forks are going to hit. You know, there's a possibility they could bump on those right there, but you know, the width that I keep the forks apart, you want it as wide apart as possible to have the platform be stable. That should do it. Try to keep you out of the light there. Okay, here's the two. In the middle, they go down to that point, and I added this one. They kind of tie it all together. I think I'm making overkill. I think I was gonna start adding metal pieces to the sides for help supporting it, but I think we just run it for a while, see how it is. If I find that it gets weak in a different location, then we can kind of beef it up. I got other stuff I'd rather be working on. Other stuff you guys would rather be watching me work on. Alright, there we go, get the sander out. I don't have a regular sander with me, but what I do have is a grinder with one of those flapper discs for metal. Let's see how that works on wood. I see it making a lot of dust. You get the idea. Alright, it says how well this works for us. go upstairs and pop it off. That was pretty easy. Lily wasn't even scared. Let's go get that off of there. That ought to make life a lot easier than trying to hobble it up the stairs or tying it to the forks. Let's go try the beaver. So the weirdest thing I probably have to go put up there is my beaver. It's a 3/4-wheeled amphibious vehicle that sucks at being amphibious. Anyway, let's go see how that lines up. I'm going to try catching one of the two tires in the chalk. Maybe. I was afraid. What's in here? I need one of you guys to spot for me. Yeah, I can feel them off. I missed it altogether. Yeah, no, I know what we're going to tie it down to. Seems like it'll fit on there pretty good though. Probably just go right around to the grab handle. Put Lily in the truck, get her out of harm's way. She does not have a very good sense of spatial awareness. That is locked into the wheel chuck. So it's grabbed the front tire and I got two straps on it. That worked out well. That's cleared off up there. I know, I forget every time. Let's go. Bring her up a little, tilt back a little. What I did, I know on the wall how far back I gotta go to line up, and then there's white marks right there that tell me how high I have to go up to clear the upper landing. All right. Well, that's it, guys. I just wanted to do a little videos for you, the first video in this garage. And I have a feeling that there's going to be a little too whiteness on the lights. I got half the lights off. And I'm going to see how it is, but you know, it's a learning curve. Other thing I want to make for the forklift too is I want to make a toe setup. A lot of guys drill a hole in one of the forks. Problem with doing that is I've been warned that you can bend a fork down, and once that happens, then the fork truck sucks to use on pallets after that. So what's common is you put the two forks together, and there's a jig that goes over the end of it, and then you wrap a chain to the guard. I don't know what that's called, that back rail, and it holds it from sliding off. So that may be another project we get into, or I may just start wrenching on something. It's to be told. But I want to thank you all for kind of hanging out for this one, and making a little dolly for hauling bikes around. And actually it could be a work platform too, kind of like the same as the tables. You can set at any height you want. So with that, guys, I'm going to go sign off, go get Lily back out of the truck, and get a bite to eat. Can't leave out the details. Go grab me a hammer. Thanks. Professional. You give him a dog bed? No. I'll lay on the floor. You missed your dog bed. You're close. Bet you the cool floor feels good, but I don't know about your arthritis there, kid. Yeah, that I had all the way level with up there, but I was too afraid to move forward or backward because the way it's cribbed underneath. Yeah, it's even more sketchy when it's all the way up.